Hey guys! Today we're making shakshuka, which is a spicy tomato sauce with poached eggs. Now everybody has their own version of shakshuka. Some cultures call it other things. There's huevos en purgatorio and other sorts of dishes. But the key here is that everybody thinks that their shakshuka is the best shakshuka. And I'm here to tell you that actually this shakshuka is like final word, the best shakshuka. There's a whole bunch of fresh vegetables. There's onions, garlic, tomatoes, obviously. I add peppers as well. I make mine with a spicy kick. Sometimes you can add mushrooms or other things. You can customize it whatever way you like. And obviously, you poach some eggs in there and you serve it with some tahini, some fermented buckwheat toast if you'd like. There's a video for that. And just all in all, this shakshuka is so freaking good. So now that everything's cut up and I've got my little mise en place ready, we're gonna start cooking the shakshuka. I like to divide everything up based on how quickly things cook. So the hard stuff, like the onions and the peppers, I put in one dish. The tomatoes separately because they gotta sort of release all those juices. And then the aromatics, which are the jalapenos and the garlic, I add to a separate dish. Because those I add sort of partway along. You don't want them to burn, so you don't want to add them right away. So we're going to get started with cooking, and I don't even know what to say after that. All right, so we're going to go in with a bit of avocado oil and let that heat up. And then we're going to go in with the onions and the peppers. We're working on about just above a medium heat here. And we're going to let those caramelize for a bit. I'm going to stir them around. I'm going to let them create some brown bits. All right, so now that it's getting nice and beautiful and brown, we're going to go in with a bit of salt. I like to use an herbed sea salt, but you can use whatever kind of salt you'd like. And that'll help it release some of the water. And now that it's got some golden and beautiful color going in there, I'm going to go in with the garlic and the jalapeno. And a little piece of coriander that was stuck on the plate. And we're going to give that a nice little stir. And instantly the smell in here is just unreal as the garlic starts to toast. And I'm going to add in my spices too so they get nice and toasty. A little bit of cumin. I don't measure anything, guys. You just got to go by what you feel. Some coriander. Some paprika, and a little bit more salt. We're going to give that a nice stir, get all those spices toasty. And I'm going to deglaze with a bit of water, which really just means adding a bit of liquid. and scraping up the little bits at the bottom of the pan. And then once that's looking good enough to eat on its own, boom, we're adding in our chopped tomatoes. And once again, a bit more salt. It looks like I'm adding a lot of salt, but this is half herbs, half salt, so it's not actually that much. But again, you feel free to use whatever you like. Pink Himalayan salt, sea salt, kosher salt, whatever works. And now I'm adding a giant bunch of cut up coriander and parsley. And I add the herbs in early because I actually like the way it tastes when they're cooked into the shakshuka. You can reserve some to sprinkle on top for sort of that restaurant look, but I like the way they taste when they're in the shakshuka and cooked in the shakshuka. So you're gonna cook it covered to let all the juices release from the tomatoes. And you're looking for a thick tomato sauce type consistency. Now the secret key to the best shakshuka ever is to add a little bit of maple syrup, just a drizzle, to cancel out some of the acidity of the tomatoes. You can either make a little well with your spoon before you drop the eggs in, or you can drop them in from a bit of a height so they make a well for themselves as they land. And I always do 2 eggs per person plus 1 for good luck. You're going to put a little bit of salt over each egg, individual seasoning, and anything else you like, some pepper, what have you. And then you're going to cover. You want to, every so often, you want to give the pan a jiggle, and once you see that the whites are mainly set but the yolks are still kind of jiggly, you're done. You turn off the heat, you move the shakshuka aside. If you see a part of the whites that's still a little runny, you can take some of the hot tomato sauce and drizzle it on top, and it'll cook it from the top. But generally speaking, you're done when the egg yolks are still jiggly, and you don't want to overcook it. That's what it's called. When you cut everything and you get it ready, it's called mise en place. Okay. Anyways. No, how's the hair? Bad. No, we'll just cut. We'll just cut. That's good. Today we're making shakshuka, which is poached eggs. No, hang on, I'm going to start that again.